I'm often asked what's my favorite car of all time, and without question, it's a 1940 Ford Coupe. They just got everything right that year. And Bruce Levin, you are the proud owner of one of the finest that I've ever seen. Tell us about it.
Well, thank you, Lance. It's really sort of a friend of mine wanted a car, and I built it for him. I still own the car, but it's in his garage. So Mustang 2 front suspension, 9-inch in the back, 4-bar, got a C6 automatic transmission, and a very rare Ford engine in it. It's a 427 side oiler. They built 60 of them for the Ford Thunderbolt race cars, and this is one of the 60 engines. The engine's probably worth more than the car is.
That's very rare, and you know, obviously there's not that many of them. You don't see them, but to put that in here, that's really something.
Right now, the way it sits, detuned, makes 565 horsepower. And we detuned a lot of the car and figured it made probably 650 horsepower originally. So it's a lot of horsepower for a small car.
When I think of the car hobby, and I think I'm just reflecting what a lot of people think, if you have to pick iconic cars, you've got a 32 Ford, you've got a 40 Ford, you've got a 57 Chev. I think those three really represent the hobby. What do you think it is about 40 Fords that it's so timeless and so just, they're so cool?
Well, it was kind of the last but of the roundy bodies. I mean, they got away from the open fenders more and closed, and like everything is just before the turn of the decade, and I think the car just hit everything right. My favorite's a 38 Ford, but I do like 40s too.
And if a 40 is going to be right, it's going to be black with flames.
In our opinion, yeah.
Bruce, the interior on this is every bit as pretty as the exterior on it. Tell us about it.
Oh, just traditional hot rod red rolls and pleats, and so we had to make the little back seat in it, but tried to make the car real traditional. And I just happen to like monochromatic interior, so I thought all red looks nice with a black car and orange and red flames.
It's the traditional icon that I keep mentioning, but it also this particular one gives off a lot of class. I mean, that's a really classy looking interior.
Yeah, well, the guy that does the upholstery for us back east he does nice work, so everything he turns out is really beautiful stuff. So I think the quality of his work is what you're really looking at.
And 40 Fords, people have pretty much stuck to the traditional style cues on them. You don't see too many 40 Fords that are redone in inappropriate modifications.
Well, we took the liberty of putting bucket seats in it. So a lot of guys use the bench seat. We wanted the buckets because we just happen to like bucket seats. But we wanted to do it as traditional as we could.
Yeah, well, you didn't stuff a 78 Cadillac bench seat in there.
No. No. There was a lot of work in it by a lot of people. So, I can think them up and I can pay for them, but it's still somebody else got to do the work.
Excellent. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much, Lance. Appreciate it.